Hey guys, Darcy here, and today we're going to talk about some problems that I have. Let's get into it. Alright, so as you know, I've moved into a new studio space and getting things set up. It's been a little while now, like 3 weeks-ish. I've run into a couple of problems and I don't really have solutions yet, so this is not a video where I'm going to be showing you how I solved things. It's me just articulating what I'm dealing with, what I'm looking into. By all means, if somebody has advice, you know where the comment section is in YouTube. So please hit that up and let me know what your thoughts are. But I thought it'd be nice to kind of articulate some of the stuff I'm dealing with, things that you may be dealing with, and then I'll do an update in a future video when I start to figure out and solve these problems, because I'm not going to just sit down in one day and solve everything. So there's a couple of things that I'm dealing with. One, it's actually my microphone. Let's see if I can bring this on camera without banging it too much. Well, can't really see it. Yeah, so you can't really see the microphone very well. It's not going to get into the frame, but I'm using an Aston Origin. Microphone's great. It's not the microphone's a problem. It's the fact that it's a condenser microphone. In my last place, the sound in the area was far easier to deal with. The ceilings were higher. I had an unfinished basement. Actually, I'll link a video up here for you to see. And in that unfinished basement, I was able to put acoustic treatment along the ceiling and have like a good 6-inch gap above the insulation. So it really acted like what you would do if you were to finish off the room in the house. And it just helped deaden a lot of the noise through the house. But the house was so much bigger that in terms of how tall the ceilings are and whatnot, as a newer build, so it allowed for sound to not travel through the house as much. Whereas this house, being a bit older, I'm getting a lot more noise traveling through the floor and other people in the house, and so the condenser microphone is really picking that up. Now, I process my microphone through U80 console, and I have an actual vocal chain, which I could put a screenshot up just to show you what these the plugins are. But I'm using the C-Suite C-Box that is allowing me to deal with some of the room noise in real-time processing. It gates some of it, and as much as that's good, it still means that I have to consider a lot of my environment when I go to record these videos or other types of things that I'm recording audio for, and that's a pain to deal with. So one thing I'm actually going to be looking to do to resolve this is get a nice podcast dynamic microphone. What I'm looking into getting is the Universal Audio's SD1. Yes, I'm a bit of a Universal Audio fanboy, but I know because I have an Apollo that it's going to gain stage very well with that. So that's really my main consideration as to why I would want to go with it. The other thing that I'm dealing with in this room is the frequency response. So I'm put a couple screenshots up. I did with SonarWorks some measurement testing with and without a rug, which didn't have any effect. I mean, the rug wasn't like a shag rug, so it didn't have much impact on the frequencies, but I'm having some problems specifically related, obviously in lower frequencies. We all have them around the E3 note, which is around 164, 67 hertz. I forget exact number, but yeah, I'm definitely having issues in those lower frequencies. They're boosting 9 decibels, and that seems to be having a lot to do with my room. That seems to be a very resonant frequency, both in lower frequencies and in higher frequencies. Now, will I be able to solve a lot of the lower ones? Probably not without getting big bass traps. I may look into doing something related to bass trapping, but I may not. Just depends on the cost and the size of the bass trap that is going to be required for my space. The other thing, the frequencies I'm more concerned about, above 400 hertz, is definitely around 1300 to 2000 kilohertz range, because that's really the vocal presence. And in a song that I've been working on, or remixing an old song of mine, I've noticed that I've been struggling a little bit just getting the vocals to sit right, and then I'll go listen in the car and they don't sit quite the way that I thought they were sitting in the space. And, you know, sometimes obviously your studio monitors are different than your car speakers, but I'm starting to realize it's coming from the fact that those frequencies are dipping out in my area, or in my room, sorry, by about 2-3 decibels. And so I'm either pushing them too loud or I'm overcompensating, going too low. So that's an area where I definitely wanted to see if I can make some improvements. But other than obviously just training my ears to get used to the differences. So these are some things that I'm dealing with, and I just need to look into more. Do I need to build more acoustic panels to cover more space? Do I need to get some kind of diffusion? What can I add? Also, are there just more furniture and fabrics that I should add in my space that would also help, that would be more decorative but would just help benefit the space? And one thing that I can't do, obviously I have this wall back here set up already for storage of my audio equipment, but this over here behind this bookcase, that is a curtain, because on the other side of that is actually a kitchen. It's a basement that was renovated, and there's a kitchen there, so I can't really hang like a diffusion or acoustic panels on that wall, because there's literally no wall, and behind it is a fridge. And I mean, who's gonna put an acoustic panel with magnets on a fridge? There's definitely some challenges I will have with dealing with the back wall in a normal way. Though if anybody has any interesting ideas of how to handle it, by all means, I'm all ears. I'm open to hear it. But these are just a couple of the main things that I'm dealing with. I mean, some level of it is just going to be learning the space, learning to live with it, training my ears, and getting used to it. I'm just trying to figure out how to approach it. And yeah, I'll do a follow-up video in the future when I learn more, but I'm really open to see if anybody has any good suggestions or techniques for how I should go about figuring out the problems in my space and resolving them. Anyways, that's going to be it for today, and have yourself a good one. Peace.